Hi, this is Amy, and this is your Sewing Room Solutions. Does your husband have a toolbox full of everything perfectly in its place? A tool for everything? Then why don't you have a scissor for absolutely everything? I have a drawer full of perfectly beautiful scissors, something for everything. No matter what I want to do, I can reach in and grab it. I want to show you what all these gorgeous scissors can do. Something for everything. These guys on the end look like little baby pruning shears. They've got a great spring, these wonderful mushy soft handles, and a nice little clasp that holds them shut, so while they're in your sewing drawer you don't get poked and attacked by them. But what they do when you're doing those rag quilts, when you have 5, 6, 7 layers of flannel or felt and you're cutting through them, this spring helps you squeeze your way through all those layers, and you're cutting every half inch or quarter inch. We know that's a lot of work, but these really help your hands get through that. As you squeeze through, the spring bounces open, so it keeps your hand from doing that second motion. I couldn't do rag quilts without these. It really makes for an easy job. This is kind of a similar scissor, a little shorter on the bottom. This has a little lock that opens up, spring-loaded again, and these have a serrated blade on them. So again, it's great for those rag quilts. It squeezes right through there. And also it's good for scrapbooking, maybe some craft solutions that you have going on in your sewing room. It's very simple, nice padded handles, not super expensive, but they work really nicely. These guys are pinking shears. They've been around since the 17th century. They've been around forever. These are medium-priced ones. They're not overly priced ones, and they have nice padded handles on the inside. And pinking shears have kind of fallen the wayside since we've added sergers to our sewing room. But I still use mine when I have to trim bulk from circles, when I trim corners, when I do home deck. I still get my pinking shears out. They take lots of bulk out of your sewing around your seams. They're still pretty handy to have around, so they're there when I need them. Look at these beautiful things. They're gorgeous German stainless. Look at that 8-inch gorgeous straight blade. These are the big girl of my sewing room drawer. These are perfect when I'm cutting out long, straight rows of quilt batting or home deck fabric, or perfect for cutting out layers of heavy wool when I'm making a wool skirt. These are just gorgeous, well balanced. You can't say enough. And when you buy a pair of scissors, you always want a pair that has a screw on them so they can be sharpened and rebalanced. These are beautiful. Everybody deserves a pair of these. You may not use them every day, but they sure do look good when I pull that drawer out and take a peek. These are the little sister of my scissors. These are a 5-inch stainless. Now these have a bent handle, a little easier as I'm cutting along. These are great for everyday cutting out patterns, projects, fabric. I do a lot of rotary cutting these days, but just to go in and grab a pair of shears to cut something, these are my go-to pair. You might want to consider a nice bent 5-inch blade. They work really well. Now as far as specialty scissors, this is where things get tricky. There's tons of different scissors to have. These are duckbill applique scissors, and I see how this little guy right here kind of resembles a duckbill, and we use these when we trim away applique. When you do applique for quilting, applique for embroidery, when we open this up, the duckbill goes underneath next to the bottom fabric as you pick up and trim the top fabric. So the duckbill protects the bottom, so you're not poking through and cutting the bottom. Oh, we've all done that at least once. It's been horrible when it does happen, but these scissors help us protect that. And it has a little curve in the handle, which makes it great. So we're not digging straight down, we're floating flat on our surface, and it makes it so much easier. These are my everyday go-to scissors. I love machine embroidery, and I could not make it without my curved tip, bent handle, embroidery snips. This is my hoop. And then I go in, it goes under my needle, nice and easy. I don't have to dig into my hoop. I can snip all my threads all day long and make it super simple. Why the red tag, you say? Red, just like in the wildlife, means danger. It tells my fabric, if you touch these scissors, you're gonna get hurt. So tie some red ribbon on your scissors, especially the ones you want to keep safe from aluminum foil, tin, whatever your family cuts with your good scissors. These are the most delicate of snips. These are spring-loaded, or kind of, I wouldn't call it a spring, kind of pressure-loaded. And these are perfect if you do a lot of embroidery cross-stitch with fine, tiny little threads that have to be picked up and snipped. These guys are great because they just bounce back as you're doing tons of little snipping. Perfect for lace. These are straight 3-inch bent shears, nice for cutting out small applique pieces, small patterns that you have to cut out. Good utility scissors, just a smaller size for a smaller project. These are the other shears that kind of hang out around my embroidery machine. They have a bent tip, curved tip, so they fold up a little bit. These are great for trimming around areas that need to be cleaned up, trimming my threads, trimming edges, cutting corners off of my projects. They're just a nice size to leave next to your sewing machine. There's 100 uses for those guys. These guys are so tiny. They look like a tiny little bill off a bird, and they can almost like tweezers with blades. They can go in and lift and dig something out like a knit, like a loop on a knit sweater. Go in and pull it to the back, snip it, tie it. You can get the tiniest of threads cut with this. These guys are amazing. You'll find lots of uses for just the smallest of work. These go everywhere with me. The first thing when I walk in the store is I actually put them on. They're with me all day long. They have a little rubber cap. Pull them off. These scissors have that little wire spring that loads them. They're perfectly curved. They do 100 things all day long. They snip embroidery threads. They cut serger threads. They're just there when I need something cut. They go back in their little rubber holder, hang around my neck, and poof, they're there. Now these guys are nice stainless. They cut as well as my big girl shears, but they're made for little fingers. You can see they're rounded tips. And when we want our little ones who are learning to sew to have the same quality scissors as we do, nothing kills me more when I see grandmas come in and give their grandchildren stuff that they can't stand to use. I think it just kills the whole momentum of teaching someone to sew. So teach your young ones to have good quality equipment, just like you like it. We want them to sew and to learn. If you don't like your scissors, or you're not sure what to do with the ones you do have, stop in and see us. Give these new ones a try. Bring us your other ones. Maybe we can sharpen them, put them back into true for you, and give these guys a trust size and take one home. They do make the perfect gift. Add them to your list. So stop in and see us and give our new scissors a try. And remember, this is your sewing room solution.